Think about a plant. Plant takes up certain nutrients at certain speeds. Think about the root system. The root system is exposed at a certain rate, a certain flow rate going through the tank. If we can find a relationship now between what the plant can take and what your system can give, I think that would be mastering of the efficiency of what the plant uptake of nutrition. So if you can think about aquaponics, you're looking at plants in water. When you look at plants in water, you're thinking fish supplying them nutrients and plants taking up these nutrients. Have we ever wondered whether the plants can take nutrients at a certain speed? How do they communicate with the water? How do they communicate with the medium when plants are there in soil? The conversation of medium with the soil, even with the soil nutrients, is water. And when you stick them in a tank of water, for lack of a better explanation, have you ever wondered whether the plants can take up 100% of the nutrients available because they're in their most friendly medium? This is something that aquaponics is turning towards and is turning in the direction of. Think about a plant. Plant takes up certain nutrients at certain speeds. Think about the root system. The root system is exposed at a certain rate, a certain flow rate going through the tank. If we can find a relationship now between what the plant can take and what your system can give, I think that would be mastering of the efficiency of what the plant uptake of nutrition is. And when you look at this concept, think of it as a lettuce plant. A lettuce plant can take up nitrogen at a certain faster pace. Maybe a kale plant does not require as much nitrogen at that faster pace. Maybe it is looking for some potassium or magnesium while it is also absorbing nitrogen. So if we could develop a concept, if we could develop an equation or a relationship between the exposure rate of nutrition and vis-a-vis this water, and you could have these plants then be exposed to this flow rate of nutrition and expose themselves to these nutrients over a certain span of time. So basically, you're trying to control the amount of time a certain fresh nutrient-rich water is exposed to these roots before it passes by, and trying to see if that time is actually enough to absorb nitrogen or to absorb potassium or to absorb magnesium. If we could do that, now we're looking at the possibility of allowing a certain exposure rate to a plant so it can uptake nutrients in a certain period of time. So you could have a tomato plant and a lettuce plant in the same system, for argument's sake. And you could look at this situation where the tomato, you could pass the water at a certain speed where the lettuce would not pick up the potassium. And the tomato plants would pick up the potassium a lot quicker than the lettuce plant. And we're now having a system where you could have multiple kinds of crops. And believe you may, more than a monocropping system, a multi-cropping system is the way an agricultural system can be made sustainable for the long term. Not only an agricultural system, but also an agricultural business can be made for the long term. So can we actually connect the exposure rate of nutrition and the absorption rate of plants to make that equation more successful?